now the rest of the Xiser Total Conditioning program is about doing more traditional weightlifting exercises, the difference being we're doing it while we're stepping, and that changes the dynamics of it quite considerably. So for example, one of the first things we're going to be doing is a bicep curl and a shoulder press. Now if you can handle, let's say, 45 pounds standing on the ground, some of you guys out there, it's going to be a lot harder to do that on the machine. So start a little lighter with the weight, and you can always build up heavier afterwards. So what I think is a good idea, if you see me from the front and see Jarrett from the side, and that way you can see all the exercises on both angles. Okay?
Boy, I wish I had some sport blocks.
Sport blocks are great. The nice thing about the sport blocks is we can change the weight, because in this program you are going to need to vary the weight. Typically, the early exercises will use the same weight, so each exercise I'll talk about that, and as you progress to some of them, you'll need to half the weight. Nice thing with the sport blocks, just with the pin, pulling this out, and I can select less weight.
How many dumbbells is that actually?
This is actually 9 dumbbells. You've got a 3-pound, which is the handle, then you've got a 6, adding another plate gives you 9, adding another plate gives you 12, then 15, then 18, and then 21.
Well, that's much more efficient than just having these 10-pounders here.
Yeah, we recommend using sport blocks, using the Total Conditioning program. And also, too, when you're doing even the short burst stepping, because over the days and weeks, you're going to progress where you might start off with 6 pounds and develop up to 12 and up to 15, 18, 21.
Yeah, especially if you're using this in your office and you don't have a lot of space. So let's say you go week 1, you're using 5s and you can advance on. It's a lot easier to have an all-in-one set than it is to try to bring new dumbbells, take some home, and kind of creates a hassle.
That's right. So this is actually what we have here is the sport block. This is a 3 to 21 pounds. The other block you can get, and again go to correctivewellness.com to see this, is the personal block. And the personal block, each plate is a little heavier. It starts at 5 and goes all the way to 45. And that set actually, for those that really get strong doing the program, has an additional handle that weighs 20 pounds. So the set can actually
go to 60.
Go to 60, that's right.
And that's 60 in each hand.
Yeah, and that's going to be a lot on here. So the sport block's probably fine for most of you to begin with. Now, the other thing we're going to just say quickly is when you do exercises 5 through 9 on the Total Conditioning program, you're going to change the resistance to give you some support. So grab either your coin or your screwdriver, and I'm going to put this, for me, all the way to the heavy setting to give myself more support. Why is that? We're not doing the short burst stepping while we're doing these other exercises. You can. That's extremely advanced and extremely challenging. You're telling me you've done that recently.
Actually, I got some clients that have built up to that. They can do the full sprint while they're doing that.
Okay, so if you built to that and you can do the full sprint, you'd leave it on the light setting. But we're going to cover today where it's a little easier, where we're going to change the resistance to give you more support so we can show you the exercises. So that's an advanced thing down the road. It can be done, but it's very, very challenging. I've found myself, I've been done most of the time on the heavy setting so I can step slowly. Okay, so exercise number 5, okay, we're going to do bicep curls and shoulder presses. We're actually going to start with the shoulder press because you get fatigued quite quickly with that. So if we started with the curls first, usually I find people then can't do the presses. We do 30 seconds of each here. One of the reasons is 30 seconds of presses is more than enough. And the curls, most of us, even though a lot of people love to go to the gym doing a lot of curls, usually most of us, we do so much front work in our day-to-day activities, this isn't something we need to get particularly additional work in. But we're going to cover it pretty quickly here. So good form, picking up our weights, okay? So we're on the heavy setting, so we've got just a nice stepping form, walking on the machine. So we start off, bring the weights to the shoulders, you've got your clock, and we're going to go pressing in here. And obviously there's some different tempos you could go with the speed of this. Okay, I'm pressing up, so sometimes some of you might be able to go a little quicker. Obviously it depends on the weight. Usually I like people to have a good weight, so it's a nice controlled movement as you're keeping that core nice and strong and as you step. So we do 30 seconds there, then we come in here, again keeping a nice upright posture. Coming in here, nice curl, bringing it tight.
It's a lot easier using lighter weight.
So we do 30 seconds here. And once we're done, we take a recovery, we stop, there's a full 60 seconds. Go ahead, put the weight down. Now, as we said, depending on your fitness level, how long of a recovery do I need now? Well, there's a couple of issues here. One, the fitter you are, sometimes the shorter the recovery. But I don't care how fit you are. If you have too short of a recovery, you're often not recovered enough to give good quality in the next one. So certainly to begin with, I want people to feel that they've got their breath back and they feel comfortable to go and give a good effort in the next exercise.
So the goal of this is not to keep this really high heart rate the whole time. We want you to recover.
Yeah, we'd rather working more. As you can see how out of breath we are, this idea that you've got to keep that heart rate up there to be cardiovascular condition has been proven not to be the case. We've already shown that with the short burst stepping. So we're getting a heart rate up there. I want you to recover so that you can do a good quality effort. Now certainly as time progresses, you can shorten those, but I typically, anywhere from, you start off with maybe a 4-minute recovery, as much as 4 minutes, and you can do some stretching in between there, bring it down to 3 to 2, and I would say as short a recovery as you should probably get for most people would be about a minute.
Okay, so quick review. On all the exercises, your rest periods can be anywhere from 4 minutes to 1 minute.
That's right.
In between each one.
And to begin with, find something that's comfortable for you. Okay, so usually for a lot of you 4 minutes you might get your breath back.
So if you can't talk, you're probably not ready to go again.
You go. Okay? All right.